Alright everyone, back at it again with another deck profile. This time we're looking at a revised list for the Despia. So the old list had like the Expulsion, I was still playing the Frightfur package, Masquerade, all that stuff, and this is more kind of to be able to play around the Ash Blossom. So this is going to be a Nadir Servant list. I was either between the Nadir package or the, what was it? The Keeper of Dragon Magic. I was watching a ton of videos. I saw it the first time was on Rev's cards. I saw him playing. I thought it was really cool. I mean, it plays really well around Ash, but then it dies really hard to draw. I'm thinking Ash is just more of a threat, so I'd rather play the Nadir package, but it's up to your own discretion. He's a much better player than me, so if you want to watch another good video, feel free to, hop on over to his channel and check that out. But, this is just my, my branded deck for, just stuff that I like to play. There are some things that I think, some ratios that could be more optimal, but I like what I've got going on here. It's been performing pretty well at the locals that I've been playing at, but, I'm not going to take too long on this intro. I will be going over the side deck in this one. Of course. So I'm just going to get this out of the way and just go ahead and get into it. So if you're looking to pick this deck up, it is extremely cheap. The only expensive stuff is going to be like your Quem and the Cartesia. Nothing else is really too expensive. You can get a lot of this stuff in low rarities, but I just like the shiny cardboard. But just to get this started, of course, 3 Albaz. People do play him at 2. I see a lot of people playing him at 2, but I really like him at 3. He could be a really good board breaker on his own, especially against a cash board who just has a Rice Heart set. Just a really good, pretty much a walking super poly. Really good, and if he gets banished by like Runic or Cash, it's just really nice to have 3 copies of him. He's just really good, not really a brick. We've got the 1 Cartesia and then 1 Quem, and then to round off the Albaz package, 1 Albion. So the Cartesia is really good. If you have a Fallen of Albaz in your grave, you special summon it. And then quick effect, fuse and summon with cards on hand or field. Really good to go into the Grugnol and dump the Gimmick Puppet into the grave. Quem's really good. On summon, she dumps an Albaz to grave. And if a card leaves the extra deck, she can summon the Albaz from grave. And Albion's is really good to get your recursion going with stuff like sending your Retribution to grave, or if you want protection your opening, and it's just a free draw one basically. So that's going to be it for the Albaz package. Moving on to the branded to the Despia stuff. Just very light. 3 Aluber, 1 Tragedy, and then the 1 Mercurier. So, Aluber's still really good at 3, one of the best normal summons in the deck. Tragedy is good at a 1. I was playing it with an alert package, but it's better to just have the deck at a smaller, the list is at 40, so I think it's better to have the list smaller so it doesn't lose to draw as bad instead of just playing more draw. And the 1 Mercurier is really good. You can search it out the lost to have a monster effect negate, or if he's banished, you can add a Fallen of Albaz or card that mentions Fallen of Albaz. For the bestial stuff, very, very small, very basic. It used to be a massive bestial package, but now that Tier Lament isn't really around, there's no need to play. You're good with 2. The Lubellion is just to shut the lost, and it gets the Albion Engrave. Alright, moving on to the only hand traps. 3 Ash Blossom. I also have a set of crossouts in the side deck. It's just really good against everything, really. The mirror match is just really good. And then just, nice couple of bricks right next to it. The 1 Dark Magician, because I do play the Dragoon package, and then the 1 Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, so your opponent does not get to play. I mean, it's just really good going first, because it's very important to win the first round, because if your opponent knows you're playing on Despia, there's so many outs to Despia floodgates. Like, the biggest one is honestly going to be like Anti-Spell or Eradicator Epidemic. If you can't lose your spells, you really pretty much lose. I mean, Dimensional Barrier is pretty bad too, but you can always just play the crossouts. Now that I think about it, I should probably put in at least 1 Anti-Spell and 1 Erad, but, we'll see. And then, like I said earlier, I am playing the Nadir package, so if your branded fusion gets ashed, you're going to just go on to the Nadir package. So your Maximus is going to dump the Titanic-clad and the Lulu-Walleth to the graveyard. So in the end phase, you can summon the Quem and the Cartesia, so you can fusion summon on your opponent's turn. This is really good. I usually send the Garura to get a free draw 1, and then I banish that, summon the Maximus, and just go off. But it's just really good if like I said, your fusion gets ashed. It's really good to keep playing. I like it a lot. I do prefer it over the Keeper of Dragon Magic package, but if you if you have anything better, or if you think the Keeper package is better, feel free to let me know. Moving on to the best card in the deck, arguably 3 Branded Fusion. As soon as I can, I'm going to be upgrading it to the Ultimates, but for now, I don't think it's come out yet. I think it comes out tomorrow, but for now I'm just playing 3 Branded Fusion. Well, I mean, there's not really a lot to say. It's just the best card in the deck, honestly. And just to go along with it, 3 Branded Opening, 2 Special Summon your Aluber and not waste your normal. And it is also protection for Fusion Monster Destruction and Great. Or branded stuff, you got the 1-up Branded in Red to set off of the Albion, and 1 Branded and Lost. Really like Branded and Lost, an insanely good card, really good for recursion. Your opponent can't respond to your fusion summons, and when you do successfully fusion summon, you add a Fallen of Albaz, or a Monster Dimensions Fallen of Albaz. It's just really good. This is really good to bait too. If you already have Branded Fusion in hand, you just win more with the Branded Lost. And the only thing that really hurts is the Ash, but what can you do? Playing 2 Fusion Deployment, that's honestly a little bit of more controversial ratio. Just in my testing, I find that I like it at 2, but honestly, I probably will end up moving it up to 3, taking out one of either the Foolish or the Sark, but I'm playing it at 2, but I should probably be playing it at 3. For board breakers, you've got 3 Super Poly and 2 Dark Ruler. So, Dark Ruler is just really good against everything. There's really nothing that can stop the Dark Ruler. Super Poly is just really good against Board Breaker, can't respond, and then the Fusion Deployment is going to Special Summon your Cartesia. And moving on, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Gold Sark, and then the 1 Branded Retribution, just to recycle your Branded Fusions, and then Gold Sark and the Foolish Burial just basically starters into themselves. So that's going to be it for the main deck. I kept it at 40. Like I said, the only thing that I would change would probably be upping the Dark Ruler more to 1, and the, the Fusion Deployment, to 3. Moving on, I've got the extra deck. So the extra deck's kind of tight, not going to lie, there's really not a lot of flex room. I do see people playing different things, but this is just what I think is more optimal for me. Starting off pretty standard, 2 Mara Jade, 2 Albion, and then the 1 Rebellion, pretty standard here, very self-explanatory, nothing crazy there. 1 Grugnull, I see people playing 2. There are instances where the second one would be nice, but in those cases I feel like, again, it's more of a win more situation than absolutely necessary. 1 Rinbrum, just if you already have a Albaz in Grave, you special summon 1 and then banish the other one. It's just really good to get your Albaz with the Grave. The 1 Saint Fire Dragon to perform the Puppet Lock, but even if you don't have the Puppet in Grave, you can just summon to your opponent's field, and that way if they're playing Cash, that's just an auto lose. 1 Quertus to summon off the Lulu-Walleth if you really have to, but you can also hard summon it with the Cartesia. 1 Dragoon, since the Mind Hacker is banned, it's not that necessary to play 2 ofs anymore, but it's really good. A lot of decks can't really get over Dragoon. He's just a big guy, big body, and a negate. 1 Dragostapelia, for stuff like your Super Poly or, Cartesia again. Just a lot of good fusions. 1 Garura, just a free draw 1. The Chimera for the Branded in Red. Still a crazy good card, pop and draw. Just a really good card. It just gets better in the upcoming sets. The 1 Titanic-clad and the 1 Lulu-Walleth. I never go into these. All they do is serve for summoning Quem and Cartesia, but they do their job incredibly well, and those 2, in my opinion, are non-negotiable. Those, pretty much mandatory for the extra deck. But that's going to be it for the extra deck. Like I said, if you think anything should be different, anything should be changed, feel free to let me know. But moving on to the side deck, and like I always say, this is just more tuned to my locals. Right now I'm seeing a lot of Lab, Flu, and Cash, so this side deck is more to combat those specific decks. Starting it off, of course, it's going to be the 1 Jinzo to summon off of the Albion the Sanctifier Dragon. That way the lab players just can't play. 2 Lava Golems just to get over bodies. 2 Droll, and then 2 Nib. Oh, there we go. Again, very flu heavy locals, so I really don't want to see them. But the Nib also works for, well, the Nib and the Droll both work for the mirror match. And the Nib also works for cash, you know. Like I said, this is just a very targeted side deck. 3 cross out if you're going, you know, this is mostly just for siding into it. 3. It's pretty difficult still to play through Ash if you don't see the Nadir. So, you know, cross outs are really good. 2 Book of Eclipse. Very, very, very good. 2 Cosmic Cyclones, just to, like, if they flip an anti-spell, you're going to go ahead and pop it, just not even worry about it. And then the 1 D Barrier for the crossouts again. Yeah, I think I'm also going to put in maybe some 1 Erad and then 1 anti-spell, just to have that extra protection. But other than that, you know, I think the side deck's pretty solid. If you think anything is better, feel free to let me know. I've thought about putting TC Boo in. But yeah, like I said, that's going to be it. If you like what you saw, feel free to like, comment below, and let me know what you think. But that'll be it, guys. Till next time.